Alright guys, we're going to go through picking a county and pricing it all in one video. So this is going to be a little bit longer of a video, but we want you to see exactly how to do it from start to finish so you don't feel like, oh man, this is going to take days and days to do. You're going to see how quick it can actually be done. You're not wasting your weekend on trying to select all kinds of different variables and counties, getting analysis paralysis, and just not doing what needs to be done. So I'm going to pick a state. We're going to pick the state, go through the different counties. We're going to price a county out, and then be ready to go to mail. So we know what our price is before we even pull data. So let's get started. I'm going to run through Tennessee real quick. Tennessee's a beautiful state. It's got a lot of the attributes that we like. It's got Smoky Mountains there. It's got Nashville. Memphis is a little rough, but it's got Memphis there as well. We got some bigger cities that we know we're going to be able to draw people in from. And it's got a good active outdoor life. And let's face it, the terrain there is pretty. So these are things that we're talking about when we pick a state. Know the type of properties you like to buy. And then we're going to look and see what they have in the margins that we want to buy in. Remember, we're going to think 15, 20, and 10. 15 to 25 is the acres we're going to pull by the state to see what properties are there in our price range. 20 acres and above is how we're going to price it to get our recreational land pricing. And 10 acres and above is the data we're going to pull and we're going to mail. So let's get started. I'm going to put in Tennessee here on Lands of America. This is landsofamerica.com. It's a free account. You already know that because you've watched the other videos so far. But it's an easy place to start. It's easy to get around, and we can have fun with looking at the different states and getting a little bit more acquainted with what we have there. We're going to do $0 to $35,000, and we're going to pick 15 to 25 acres here. This is going to tell us what we have in that sub $35,000, the bass boat property as we call it, at 15 to 25 acres to get us a decent pricing. And hit search. Remember, this is just so we can build the county list for Tennessee. I don't know every county in Tennessee, let alone every county in the state I live in. So this allows us to see what's on the market currently in our price range really quickly. So we're going to kind of roll through these counties and just kind of get acclimated. While we're doing this, we're going to look at who's selling there, what the property types look like, what they're kind of going for price-wise, and then we'll go back and we're going to check the county to make sure they actually have information. Tennessee is a good state because it has a lot of information on the properties available for us online. But again, this is just to build a county list. We are not pricing off this. We are building a county list. So Tennessee, you can see our stuff here at the top. We're going to run through this real quick. We have Coke County at $29,000 for 23 acres. That's in our price range. $24,000 Bledsoe. $34,900 for 18 in Claiborne. So we're looking at the pictures to see what they have there as the type of properties we like to sell. We like trees. We like road access. It's Hawkins County, Campbell County, Benton, Scott County, Macomb. So we've got quite a few counties here that hit our price range. Again, these are the bass boat properties that we're going to go in, and we're going to be able to see quick velocity in. We're going to be offering about a third of this prices that we see listed. So if you think about this as you're scrolling through this, we'd be offering about 10 grand for this and hopefully selling it for 29.5, or as much of it to realize as much of the profit as we can. And cool, Jackson County, it's clean cut. I want clean cut. So there's 37 total properties in the state of Tennessee that are listed right now that hit our price range, which is a good amount of number. If you just find a couple, that's fine too. Just write those counties down, and you'll run with those counties. Okay, got Benton looking like a couple here. McNair, Benton. I'm going to roll with Benton County here. That's what we're going to run with. We're seeing quite a few Bentons. We've seen 4 or 5 so far. There's 6. So they've got some decent trees. Looks like they've got some decent road coverage. So what I'm going to look real quick is I'm going to go over to Google, and I'm going to check and make sure that I can see the stuff on this. So you just type in Benton County Tax Assessor to see what pops up. Tennessee Property Data homepage. Just click that. Okay, we're going to grab Benton here, see what it says. We're going to do a test property search to see what kind of information they give us. I typically use Smith just as a basic last name. That's in. You can find a property owner in most counties with the last name Smith. We'll put Smith here, and we'll hit search. Cool. So we got quite a bit of information here. You hit just select. Looks like there's a GIS map. Okay. Smith talks about the improvement value. Not too bad. This one's got a house on it. Tells us when it was purchased and when it was bought, so that's good. It's got that information, and looks like we can view a GIS of this, so that's good. If we don't have a parcel software, having a state GIS system is great. If they have a GIS system here, typically they'll be in the parcel software as well, but that's a good thing to check, whether you're using Parlay, MapRight, TerraStride, or ParcelFact. Looks like it's loading up here for us. Okay, it's on the corner of Kane and Washington Avenue. Let's add an aerial photography. So you can change this. Looks like it's got FEMA for us too, which is great because you know we're going to check FEMA on our due diligence portion. Cool. Lets us know where our parcel is. That's great. So there's got a lot of information there for the state of Tennessee. That's a great tool to have. So let's get started. We're going to use Benton. Go back to Lands of America. In your resource document, you're going to see a form like this. This is our pricing table. I'm going to bring this down to size so I can see this, and I'm going to do that here as well so we can kind of see our pricing. Okay, so now that we have that here, we are going to change here. We're going to go to the county here. We're going to get it down to the county level. Since we've done 0 to 35,000, 15 to 25 acres, we said we did 15. Now we're going to do 20 acres as our price size. What this does with Benton County, Tennessee, and we're going to start pricing this out. Make sure none of this is anything in here. We're going to start completely clean on this. So we're going to do to any max because we want to know what the market's currently doing. We're going to change our acreage to 20 acres and above. It's loading up there for us. I'm going to go to Land and Farm and get it started too because we're going to be looking at LandWatch, Lands of America, Land and Farm. You can pick a few different ones if you want to. I use these three to get a good pricing. A little bigger here so I can See the filters off to the side because we are going to pull out residencies. We don't want those to show up. So over here on the left-hand side of this page, we have includes residence. We're going to say no. We're going to hit apply filter. Okay. Some of these prices are going to look a little bit high. We're going to have to go through them and double check what we're looking at. See some without pricing, which is a little odd, but Compass Land Sales doesn't want to put the pricing up, it looks like. As we stroll through this, we're going to see some pricing kind of all over the map. Okay. I like to look through it just to kind of see what we have out there on the market, just to make sure it just wasn't a weird thing that popped up. But we are going to pull through this and look at the comps. Looks like Compass right here doesn't want to tell us pricing, but we will work through that. I'm going to clean up some of the tabs here real quick. Since we're going to start here, we're going to go ahead and pull up our pricing sheet. We have Lands of America right here in the middle. You can see total price is $80,103. And it's 26.7 acres. Enter, it tells us $3,000 an acre. Okay, we've got 199,000. It's going to be 103.86 acres. 1916 an acre. No price, no price. And as we start laying these out, we're going to see how the market looks, and we'll go back and make sure there's nothing that's just odd on this one. This one looks a little oddly priced to me. As you see, this one's 282. So we're going to go here, 435, 0. And that is 282 acres, 1542. Sorry, I'm trying to get to where I can see what's going on with the pictures here as well. So 3,000, 16.19. Seeing some stuff around 1,500 an acre. I'm seeing some stuff that's a little bit high. 44,000. 19 acres, 1836. This one looks waterfront. It's pretty. Next page shows. Stay in a pretty good range here. We got one that's out of sorts, and this one's a little high, but we're going to kind of look through it. We want to keep them within about $1,000 range of each other, what the average is doing. So we're going to pull up the second page and kind of work through this, and we're going to start cleaning up some of these comps. Seeing a pretty common trend from 1,500 to about 2,000 bucks an acre. So that's a pretty good tight number there. So if we took out this one here, puts us a little bit lower, and took out this one, we could get an idea of what we're doing per acre, but we're going to go ahead and just refill those back in to have a little bit tighter of a number, but it's get us close enough. The idea is we want to get the conversation going. Get the conversation going on them, what they're bringing to us, and we're going to make sure it's beneficial to us, that we're going to make enough money on the back end on it to make it worth the deal worth happening. So even by just removing those two and just swapping them out, it brought our price down. So I'm going to go ahead and call this one at 1820. We've got a few more that are sitting down at 1,000. Let's see this one here. 39. 944. I'm going to look into this one a little bit closer because we do see a couple there that are under 1,000 bucks an acre. I'm going to make sure they have access and things like this. Nice track, shouldn't miss out on that one. Got a little water on it. Access. Okay. So 1665 here. LOA is Lands of America. 1665 enter. Just putting this on there so far. So if we went at our 30% numbers, 500. It's about double your money on these two smaller ones down here, but everything else is good triple your money. So we're still looking good there. We're going to check Lands of America and Land and Farm, and it's going to tighten our number up a little bit. But as you see, we've got a pretty good consistent there. We're within 1,000 bucks of each other on that low end. 1,264 for those mathematicians out there. Putting up here, we've got a 1665 average, and we're going to offer about 30% of that average. On this one at 49,950, I would round up over the 500 because people do math pretty easily. So I'd say 501.55 or something like that. We could creep up to the 582 number, but you're going to fall somewhere under this place. So we want them to again give us a call because we've offered them enough money to make them want to sell us the property or do that. But again, our low number here at 932 and 944, that 500 still has some profit in there. So if we bought a 20 acre, we'd look at $8,000 in potential profit up to what we see at the comp value at $1,600 an acre. You know, we'd be offering 500, so it's $1,100 an acre potential profit, so that's 20 grand. So that hits our margin where we like to be. We're going to double check these numbers on Land Watch and Land and Farm. So we'll go over to Land and Farm now, give it a try. Okay, we need to get our filter set up here. Remember, we're going to check anything above 20 acres. Computer's running a little bit slow here with the software running. Benton County, Tennessee, 20 plus acres. Nothing on price because we want to see what it's doing for us. And then we will, when it sorts out, we will start going through it and pricing it like we did the other one. There may be some movement on the screen here because I'm going to be having to get around the to get the pricing piece up. A lot of that broker on here that didn't show their prices, they want you to contact them. So it's one way to get people interested. Slide this over here so I can see a little bit. We'll go land and farm. We got our first one at $199 for 103. Some of these are going to be the same ones, but there will be some different listed ones. And you will see in different markets, the different markets tend to use different type places, so which is pretty neat. So that one earlier that we thought looked a little off on pricing. One's got houses on it. This one's going to pull up some houses, so we're kind of searching through that too. 370. Next page. As you're looking, we can see that they have some bed and baths here, so they know we got some houses mixed in this one. I didn't filter that out on Land and Farm. Good comp there. 644.48. $100 maker. This one looks like it's been cleared out here. It looks like it's farmland, so it's got us producing on it. Not typically what we buy because it's not good camping property. You're not going to camp in the middle of a hayfield. There's one. 9. 11. $9,000. And it's 36.2. Okay, so it looks like we've got good tight pricing in here. We look over at this one. Looked like our high side was 2,000, but again, we have two that pop up a little bit higher there. I'm going to get us all into about $1,000 range here, so I will pull that one out. And low end is 15. We'll pull that one out. It's going to put us at 1940. We're in about $1,000 range here, and then we're going to go ahead and add our number in here. So at 1940, it will raise our total number up a little bit, at 540.75. Not a whole lot, but just a little. And we're getting closer to our pricing there. We're going to go to Land Watch now, so I'm going to kill some of these pages, and we'll talk about it. I'm going to get over to Land Watch. Okay. Again, you are seeing this real time. There's no pre-done check. This is just to show you how quick you can get through this. This is not something that should take you multiple days. This is something that you should move through pretty quickly and get the mail in the box to get onto your next county. You know, you can, when you built up that list of counties in the original one when we lived 15 to 25 acres, write those counties down, price them all individually, and then you have your next set of mailers. All you got to do is pull the data and add the price per acre in that you want to do. And you can keep moving through states pretty quickly. Mail multiple counties at one time, narrow your data search down from I'm going to mail from 10 to 25 acres in these 3 counties and get them going. I mean, it's up to you how you want to do that, but this is a quick way to get our pricing done. So Benton County, Tennessee, but don't use the pricing the counties and picking counties to be your hang up. This shouldn't be that difficult. We're going to keep it simple, and we're just going to run through it and make sure that we have a price that's close using this methodology of pricing for margin on our Bass Boat properties, and we get the conversation started on them wanting to sell us their land. Okay, we've got put it up here. It looks like we've got Compass again at the top that's not wanting to show us any pricing. We will start working through these like we did on the other ones. This one's a little bit different because it's done backwards compared to Land and Farm and Lands of America. So just remember that as you start typing your stuff in. Don't read, oh, acres this. On this price sheet, I have it built price then acres. So we're going to go a little bit backwards here. So 8,000, 80,103. See, there I go again, getting backwards. And as you see, the prices are always they're gonna vary a little bit just because of the different advertising methods for the different brokers for those areas. Some are real heavy on one site and not too heavy on another, which is okay with us. Some are just fed from the MLS, which is okay with us as well. And since we are shopping the recreational property, the good thing for us on that is that when we do that, our pricing is going to be pretty consistent. Like we said in the other videos, consistent from about 15 acres on up. You're not getting into the developed neighborhoods, and you're not going to see an astronomical amount per acre. Like this one, for instance, says $28,000 for 2.92 acres. That's at what, $10,000 an acre? And we see on the other ones we're offering in that we're seeing $1,700, $1,800 an acre. So just want you to kind of keep that in your mind. That's why we shop these bigger ones. You can get a pretty good feel for the comp by what's on the market there. I'll change our acreage here so we get a little bit better look on our acres, because I did not do that. This one didn't pop up for us earlier, so we're going to use that here. 500 for 52. 59.32. 52. 28 acres. As you see, these pricings are pretty consistent here. That one's got a house on it. Looks like it's got some agriculture. We can throw that in there. 712, 750. This is road access. Let's look at this one here. Got 66,953. 300. Okay, so let's look through. Remember, we're keeping it all within $1,000 range. Our bottom one's 12, 11. Okay, we're going to pull this one here. It's going to put us at 1581. 15. And we'll see what our number looks like consistently. Okay, cool. So here are the 3 bigger land markets, land marketing places on the internet. We come in, we've priced all 3. We've got our $1,000 range from the base, from the bottom. And when we put them all in together, we see a total of 1581 from LandWatch, Lands of America at 1665, and Land and Farm at 1940. Altogether, our 30% is 518,600. 35% is 605.30. Again, I always say float between a third, pretty close to a third. 518.60 is a good number to me because it's over 500. If somebody does the math real quick and says, "Hey, you offered them $10,000 is $500 an acre on a 20 acre," you're offering over that, so they're gonna have to do a little bit more math, but they're gonna know it's over $500. So if we paid 518. Our lowest one we saw in the market anywhere is 944, 932. Leaves us about a $415 per acre margin. 415 times 20 is $8,000. I think we're going to beat that because we see pretty consistent in that mid $1,500 area, $1,500, $1,600 an acre. So again, if I were to mail this county, my offer would be $518.60 would be the price I would offer on this. As you see, that's a pretty solid number comparatively, and it looks like it's going to make us close to about $1,000 an acre when we see it all sold. I think we could take that 20 acres, 20 grand. I like those numbers. Thanks for looking at this video. Again, this was real time. You saw how to pick a county using just a state. So we start at the state. We look 15 to 25 acres at sub $35,000. Again, that's our Bass Pro property market. Picked a county out, went in and priced the county using 3 different marketplaces: LandWatch, Lands of America, and Land and Farm. Got our pricing into a good median and a good range with 10 comps that comp the type of properties we like to buy. And as you see, we're looking at everything over 20 acres here on the pricing. Up to the highest one we saw was, I think, a 500 acre. There's 370 right there, 370 acres. And the pricing stays pretty consistent across the board. It doesn't vary too much. Now next we would pull the data for this county. Again, when I pull the data, I pull from 10 acres on up. You can drop it down to 5, up to whatever you want to go on the high end. Acquisition funds will limit that. But again, this is the quickest way to get to pricing with a price that's going to be close enough to get somebody to start calling us to generate that lead to where we can make that purchase. Again, thank you for watching the videos. We'll see you on the next one.